Mona Lisa, Leonardo da Vinci's most famous painting, perhaps the most talked about artwork in art history. But why is it really so famous? If you think it's famous just because it's a masterpiece, you're wrong. It was painted around 1503, but until the late 1800s, you'd hardly find anyone on the street who even knew about the Mona Lisa. Back then, the Mona Lisa was no different from the hundreds of other paintings in the Louvre, and those paintings were considered just as important as the Mona Lisa. But somehow, today, the Mona Lisa stands above them all. Bulletproof glass, special security, 8 million visitors every year. So what made this painting so famous? Or was Leonardo da Vinci really hiding something in this portrait? Leonardo began painting it around 1503 in Florence, and some experts suggest that the painting remained unfinished for more than 15 years. Leonardo's obsession with the painting is also striking. He never delivered it to the family who commissioned it. He took it with him when he moved to France, and he kept making changes to it until his death. Some experts believe the painting was never truly finished. The Mona Lisa is about 77 by 53 centimeters in size. Leonardo used his own technique here, known as sfumato. He created soft transitions between colors and shadows, making the face look almost alive. This is why Mona Lisa's gaze seems to follow you from every angle, and why her smile appears to change in an instant. The journey of the painting is also fascinating. After Leonardo's death, it became part of the French king's collection. It stayed at Versailles for many years. Then, after the French Revolution, it was moved to the Louvre, where it has been on public display since 1797. But even then, the painting still hadn't achieved the fame it has today. Not until that one day. August 21st, 1911. That morning, the Louvre was almost empty. It was a Monday, the day the museum was closed to visitors. Only a handful of staff, janitors, and a few painters were inside. And someone decided to take advantage of that silence, an Italian handyman named Vincenzo Perugia. Because he had worked at the Louvre before, Perugia knew the museum well. That morning, he put on his white worker's smock and entered through the staff entrance. No one suspected a thing. He quietly made his way to the Salon Carré, where the Mona Lisa was displayed. Since he had learned how to remove paintings from their frames, he worked quickly. He took the Mona Lisa off the wall and left the frame and glass in a corner. He then wrapped the painting in his smock and tucked it under his arm. Next, he headed toward another exit. According to some sources, the door was locked, and Perugia was trapped inside for a while. But eventually, another employee, unaware that Perugia was carrying the Mona Lisa, helped him open the door. And just like that, Perugia walked out into the street with the Mona Lisa under his arm. The Mona Lisa was no longer in the Louvre. At the time, the painting's fame was so small that staff didn't even notice it was missing until the next day. But when they did, all hell broke loose. French newspapers splashed the story across their front pages. Posters with the Mona Lisa's iconic smile appeared in the streets marked "Wanted." Detectives swarmed the Louvre, and police began stopping people and carriages for searches. The story first shook all of France, then spread across the globe. For days, newspapers made it front-page news. Thousands of people flooded the Louvre just to stare at the empty wall where the painting once hung. The Mona Lisa was now missing, and the world's curiosity had only grown stronger. Meanwhile, Perugia was hiding the painting in his small Paris apartment. He kept it inside a chest with a secret compartment. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, but the Mona Lisa never left the headlines. Perugia believed the painting rightfully belonged to Italy. In his mind, this wasn't theft. It was an act of patriotism. But he was probably also hoping to profit from it. When the media turned the theft into an international sensation, he realized selling it was impossible. The Mona Lisa was now the most famous missing artwork in the world. If he tried to confess or sell it to anyone, he knew he'd be caught. By 1913, Perugia's patience had run out, and he decided to sell the painting. He reached out to an art dealer in Florence, Alfredo Geri. He told him, "La Gioconda must return to Italy." Geri grew suspicious and called art historian Giovanni Poggi. A few days later, the three met in a hotel room in Italy. When Geri and Poggi saw the painting, they could hardly believe their eyes. They quietly alerted the police. On the evening of December 11th, 1913, police raided Perugia's room and arrested him. After 2 long years, the Mona Lisa was finally safe again. The painting was briefly displayed in Italy before being returned to the Louvre with great ceremony. In just the first 2 days, 120,000 visitors came to see the Mona Lisa. From that moment on, it was no longer just a painting. It had become a legend. But here's something important to know. The true identity of the Mona Lisa is still uncertain. The most widely accepted theory is that the painting shows Lisa Gherardini, the wife of Florentine merchant Francesco del Giocondo. That's why, in Italian, the painting is called La Gioconda. But there are other theories. Some believe the Mona Lisa is actually Leonardo's mother. Others think she is a purely imaginary character, and some even claim it is a disguised self-portrait, a feminine reflection of Leonardo himself. But perhaps the most intriguing theory is about Leonardo's apprentice, Salai. According to researcher Silvano Vincetti, Leonardo used his apprentice, Gian Giacomo Caprotti, nicknamed Salai, as the model for the Mona Lisa. Although his real name was Gian Giacomo Caprotti, Leonardo called him Salai, meaning little devil. Their relationship has been debated for centuries. As a young man, Leonardo was accused of sodomy, a crime punishable by death at the time, but the case was dismissed due to lack of evidence. After this, Leonardo kept his private life extremely secret. Yet Salai remained in his life for 20 years, living in the same house, traveling with him, and frequently appearing in his notebooks. Vincetti claimed that the letters L and S can be seen in Mona Lisa's eyes. Some computer analyses have even suggested that Salai's facial features match almost perfectly with those of the Mona Lisa. According to this theory, Leonardo's bond with Salai was far more than a master-apprentice relationship. He wanted to secretly immortalize Salai, the person he loved most, in his greatest masterpiece. Because homosexuality was punishable by death, this had to remain hidden. He never delivered the painting to the family who commissioned it, kept it with him at all times, and secretly worked on it for more than 15 years. Even the name was disguised. Instead of Salai, he called it Mona Lisa. The supposed L and S in her eyes would then make perfect sense. But this is still just a theory. There is no official or conclusive evidence supporting it beyond these claims. The truth is, most historians still agree that the Mona Lisa is Lisa Gherardini, but those who believe she might be Salai are not few. Perhaps what makes this painting special is not just Leonardo's mastery, but also the mystery and the endless questions surrounding it. Maybe that's why the Mona Lisa became so famous in the first place. When we look at it, we don't just see a portrait. We see a riddle that has defied answers for centuries. And maybe that was exactly Leonardo's plan. He didn't just paint a woman. He painted a question that humanity would keep asking forever. A silent mystery, staring back at us, smiling, inviting us to solve it. Or maybe we were never meant to solve it.